Aloha everybody, I'm not the great Clement. I'm Roy Rockwood, and ladies and gentlemen, I actually got bored enough and tried out Jen's movie 9F finally. So yes, you are able to play Sonic the Sagehog, or at least able to view Sonic the Sagehog. This game was originally released by Sonic Retro back in 2010 just to show off like how it how a new ranking system would work. And if you don't know what the Sonic Amateur Games Expo is, you probably should go to it. But anywho, you have Sonic. He's blue. And let's put it at this, he's better than Mario. So basically the whole story is Dr. Ivo Robotnik is our madman, and he's basically capturing animals and wants to take over Sonic's area, South Island, in search for items known as Chaos Emeralds. What you're seeing here, if you're wondering what this is, that's the Void. That's a special level select area where you can basically go to any level you want, or to the Retro channel, which I'll mention in an extra video, and vice versa. So, Sonic's controls. He can run. He has a speed cap though, so he won't go too fast. He can jump and roll into a wall. Respectfully though, when he rolls into a ball, he gets more momentum than when he does normally. As you can see, that rolling dash came in handy as I was able to beat this level in under 35 seconds. Which is actually a trophy in the vintage edition of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I'll try to LP later, or at least show off how to get all the trophies. But yeah, Sonic lives on South Island. Robotnik is trying to take it over, and he's built a metal base where he holds all of his creations. By the way, if you're wondering what kind of a recording this was for this LP, this is actually a test recording that I did. By the point, however, where I got to Act 3, every level has 3 acts in this game. I don't know what, I forget what other games have 3 acts, I'll show those off later, but still. Yeah, this test recording somehow messed up in Act 3, so I have to redo Act 3 of this stage again, and by the way, in the Sage Edition, you don't have extra chances like you would normally. Because this is a version of the game where it has a ranking system, you only have 1 chance, so when you die, you have to restart the whole stage again. And, yeah, I figured out that jump from Brain Scratch Communities, although I have been using that for a long time now. I was wondering, like, is it possible to even do that? And then, yeah, I figured out how to do it properly. But, yeah. There are a lot of secrets in the, well, not too many secrets per se in this game, but there are a good bunch where you could, like, find hidden items that'll definitely get you through. If you're paying attention to the items that I'm getting, one is a ring monitor. And rings are sort of like, let's say they're your health. And rings, you basically can keep Sonic alive as long as he has even 1 ring. However, if he gets hit and he has no rings, he dies. The second one is the shield, which basically grants Sonic an extra hit without losing rings. And what you see here is invincibility. For 15 or 20 seconds, Sonic becomes invincible. He can't get hit at all. It's a pretty useful ability, but in some areas, not so much. Especially one area that I don't believe I'll show off, but yeah. Lots of 10 ring monitors, by the way, that's why I took this lower path, and now what you just saw there, that was, normally there's a 1-up there where you can get an extra chance. All 1-ups in Sagehog have been replaced by, let's call them, I'll call them time reset, and I don't know why, but that caused me to die right there. Somehow the video got corrupted a bit and I died. And all these controls you're seeing right here in the lower right corner from Jen's movie 9F, that was actually intentionally supposed to be me fighting the boss, and yeah, here's the level select for everything else. Marble and Spring Yard Zone, which I'll get into later, but yeah, it's just a test recording, nothing too important. And, yep. Oh yeah, I forgot. Back to power-ups. There was a speed monitor that I got. With that, you can be so much faster. Much faster than you normally would. And just like the invincibility monitor, it lasts for 20 seconds. And might as well introduce to you guys the stuff that was in the prototype version, seeing that I won't be LPing the prototype because I don't have a prototype. Nobody has made a proper version of the original Sonic the Hedgehog beta ROM. Except for it, well, if you count that beta ROM that somebody made a while back, but I don't care about that. I'm referring to the original ROM, the original cartridge. I don't have that, but in that there were 2 monitors that weren't used. Well, actually no, there were 3. I think there were 3. There was a Robotnik monitor, which, well, Robotnik's the bad guy, so he'll try to hurt Sonic. What do you think that monitor does? It's like getting hit by a badnik. Let's just put it at that. Badniks are the bad guys. Yeah, they are bad guys. They're Robotnik's robots. Another cool item, which I'll mention when I get to Labyrinth Zone. If you don't know what Labyrinth Zone is, stay tuned. Labyrinth Zone has an item, well, used to have an item called the Goggles. And I'll get to that when I get to that level. There was also an S monitor, which would grant both extra speed and invincibility for 20 seconds. I find that to be useful, but because it's not originally in the game, because it's not input anywhere in the game, I really don't see any good use of it. But yeah, that's pretty much your power-ups. And in Japan, Dr. Robotnik is known as Dr. Eggman, and I'm somewhat reading the manual right now on the GameCube version. I mean the PS2 version of Sonic Mega Collection Plus. And what I'm seeing here is, in the US version it says that Dr. Robotnik and Sonic live in a place called Mobius, but in the Japanese version, Mobius is nowhere mentioned. So I'm guessing we're just playing on Earth. We're just playing in the planet Earth. As you'll find out later in the series when we get to games like Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, where you figure out, oh crap, we're somewhere in the US. I won't spoil it, unless if you've watched Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. If you heard my muffled voice, then you probably know what I'm about to say. Then you probably know what I said. But yeah, that's basically the plot line, and more Sagehogs to come in a few, so stay tuned. I will see you in part 2. And again, please pardon me for the awful video skipping in this. It's because when you're doing an AVI dump on 9F, apparently what happens is the audio, well, not the audio, the video sort of like will skip a bit because it's compressing the files. It's not that easy to fix, but when you have a computer that uses, like, I have bad gaming graphics on my computer. Might as well non sequitur this because somebody needs to know. I took a look at my computer, my rankings for everything. Like, for processing data and whatnot, it's an okay computer. It's average. 4.9, yeah, between 4.9 and 5.9 for certain data processing things, especially memory. Eventually I'll get 5 more hard drives, because my thing can hold up to 6, and each will be 2.5 terabytes each, but I digress. This computer that I'm using is bad for gaming graphics, and if you saw the Donkey Kong 3 LP, I've mentioned this before. My AMD processor, the AMD processor is god-awful for this kind of a thing. So eventually, as I didn't stress this, but I've hinted to it, I'll need to get the what's the word I'm looking for? I'll need to get somebody who can input an Intel Core i3 processor, because apparently I've never had a computer that uses Intel Core i3, and all my software is from 2007 and between 2009 and earlier. So yeah, until I can get an Intel Core i3, you're pretty much getting these miniature videos with extended commentary after the video ends. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know for this, for the time being. I really don't want to keep saying for the time being, because I remember that I didn't like doing that when I was doing the Mega Man Part 4 LP. That was awful. I did not like that one bit. But whatever. So, yep, that's Sonic the Sagehog Part 1. Sorry that the video had to get corrupt because my computer's a Duke bag. But you can understand it's not my fault, right? If you forgive me, I thank you. But anywho, see you in Part 2.